from Created the Otter Way. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me. I've been with Stampin' Up about 6, maybe 7 years now, but I still feel like I'm fairly new to videos and YouTubes. I like to show you how to make things and then let you go and interpret it your way. So I'm going to share with you today this little make. It's a standing pop-up card, so it's a bit hard for you to see on the video, but it stands up like that, so you would view it like that, but it folds down flat like that, and it will fit in a standard size envelope. I say standard in the UK obviously, but it fits really nicely inside, so when you open it up it just sort of stands itself up. It's really lovely. Now I have used the Sweet Stockings designer series paper, so grab yours quick if you really like this paper. Being Stampin' Up, it's double-sided, but it's got lots of these pet sheets that I have fussy cut, so I'm really sorry because that is a little bit of work involved. I wanted to do something that you could make with just the designer series paper and a bit of card. You could make a really lovely snowy scene with your die cuts if you've got some, but I just wanted to make something that you could put together fairly easy. And as so many of us are pet lovers, whether be it cat or dog, we won't start that debate. This is a bit of everything. Okay, so how do we make it? Really, really simple. I am going to leave that there so you can get the sizes. You just need 2 pieces of card and then pretty much some DSP. On my one that I made, I have used both sides of the paper. I find it really tricky to choose which side I like best. And this is a good example of that. So let's get going. So I'm going to use some cherry cobbler this time. I'm hoping that that is going to show up on camera. So the first piece that we need for the stand of our box is a piece that is 8 inches by 4 1/8. Now to do that, what I've done is I've taken my A4 sheet, and on the short side I am going to cut it at 4 1/8 down the whole length, because effectively that will give me 2 cards from one sheet. So I've cut it, I've put one to one side for later, and I'm going to turn it now and cut that at 8 inches. Okay, so remember you're cutting, so that leaves you with that sort of size. So it's 8 inches by 4 1/8. And now I'm going to score it in 2 places. So I'm going to score it at 2 inches. So make sure you've got your scoring blade and not your cutter. And I'm going to score it again at 6 inches. Okay. Now there's one more little thing that you need to do to make this stand. So you've got the diagonal sides. So we are going to make a little mark at 1 1/8. Okay, so I am using the score this side to find 1 1/8, and I'm just going to put a little notch there with my trimmer. Okay, just so, I don't know if you can see on there, but it's just a tiny little mark. Okay, then I'm going to line that up on my cutting line with this score line here. And again, just looking to make sure there's a diagonal line. And then I'm just cutting through there so that you're effectively taking one corner off. A little bit more than a corner, but that's what you're doing. So I'm going to do the same the other side, but bearing in mind that I want the diagonal to go this way. So I am finding 1 1/8. I'm making a little mark. Just a tiny little mark again, lining it up on the diagonal, there and there. Then I always put my blade in the middle and go up and down. so that you have no denty bits. And that's the other side. So if I move that out of the way, so you've got your frame, and that's your stand for the back of your card. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side now, and I'm going to do the inside bit. So the inside, you need 4 different shelves or 4 different layers. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could just do 2 if you've got thicker pieces that you want to highlight. I found that the easiest way for this is to start with a piece of card that is 7 inches by 5. So I am going to cut it off this way at 5. So I've got a whole A4 sheet, although, yeah, let's do it with a new one so you can see, because I was going to use a scrap, but, so my blade, I'm cutting it up with 5, so the big bit I don't need, and turn it that way at 7, or find 7 I should say, so 7 by 5, okay. Get rid of that cutting blade. So this piece is now 7 inches by 5. Now on the 5-inch side, I need to score it both sides at ½ an inch. So effectively you're doing all your scoring in one go. So ½ an inch one side, spin it round and do ½ an inch the other side. So it's a really quick make. Okay, now for the different pieces inside. So you're now on the 7-inch side. You're going to cut at 2.5. Okay, so 2.5. You're going to cut at 2. Cut another piece at 2. Another piece at 1.5. 1.5, and that should leave you with a piece that is 1 inch. So if I bring them back on camera so you can see, okay, now they've already got their score lines, so you're ahead of the game. Love that. So I'm just going to fold those around so you can see what happens with them. Okay, and that is your 4 innards that are going to fit in there. Okay, I'll show you how to put those together. Now at this stage I decided the best thing to do was cut the designer series paper and layer it on to these pieces before I put them together. So that's what we're going to do. I'll try and put them so you can see them all in one go. So, and I will give you the sizes, because obviously to cut down the time that you have to listen to me, I've cut them already. So I have got 2 pieces, one for the inside and one for the back. So the reason I've done that on the back is so that there's somewhere for you to write your personal message. So I've put some designer series paper and then die cut a shape out for the back. So both of those pieces are exactly the same. I think actually they go that way on this one. Exactly the same, and as in size wise. So the size of those, let me just check that before I give you it, are 3 7/8 by 4. So they're 3 7/8 by 4. Let's put some glue on those. Ooh, not liking the fact that we're covering up the stocking cats and dogs, but it will be fine. Now I already know that my paper on this one is going this way round. So there's one for the back, like so, really quick and simple. And then the same again on the other side. Cover up the kitties again. Have you got a favourite Stampin' Up paper this year? I found it really tricky. I've seen so many lovely makes, Blackberry Beauty is really nice, isn't it? And not just for Christmas, which is lovely. Really like that one. Okay, so that's the front and the back. Now the next bit is going to be this bit. So the next colour that I chose for that, I've decided to sort of do patterned plain, if that makes sense. So this is a really heavily patterned. So the next one is this one. So the size of that is just a fraction smaller than this. So remember, this is 2.5 by 5. So this is just going to be 1/8 of an inch smaller, and that's what I've done on all of them. So 2.5 makes it 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. Oh no, I'm covering up a whole dog there. Oh, now my glue's decided that it doesn't want to play ball. There you go. It's come out. It's much easier to put your designer series paper on first because you can really press it on and get it the place you want, whereas when you're trying to stick your fingers in and place it, it's not so good. So that's the next one. The next one I chose was the lights. Oh, I can't pick it up. So that was this one. What's on the other side? Oh yeah, just that, so that's okay. The next one is this one. That's not the right size, is it? We need to adjust that. Okay, let's put this one on first. See, all of us make mistakes. At least we share them together. That glue is coming out ever so quick as well, isn't it? Look, loads. Usually you have to really squeeze it, so I'm just going to take some of that off. So the next size for this piece of card is 3 7/8 by 1 7/8. Because remember, you're just doing 1/8 of an inch smaller. Now this one, because I haven't got any more of this, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put it at the top so it looks like it's all on. But really this one should be 1 1/8. Right, that is what I've done it. So it's 1 1/2. So it should be 1 3/8, and I've done it 1 1/8. So that's where I've gone wrong. But that's okay. No one will know, only us. So don't tell. That one's going on there. Okay. So the reason I've just gone with it is because when I put that on there, oh, that one first, isn't it? Then that one. When I put this one on, look, you won't even see. So this one is 7/8. 7/8 by 3 7/8. I really don't want too much glue on this one. So I'm just going to spread that out. If you do spread it out, sometimes when I've used Tombow glue, not so much on Stampin'Up card to be honest, because it's high quality, but if I've used a different paper, shall we say, you can see the line of the glue, so sometimes it's good to spread it out. Okay, that one's going to go on there. Now, how do we stick them in? Oh, take a deep breath, girls, we can do this. So this is our stand. Let's start with this one first. We're going to put some glue just on one side, just on the tab. Again, don't go mad with the glue. You don't want it squirting out everywhere. Where this fold line is, put your card, this piece, up to there. Make sure it's lined up at the bottom, and then just bring it over. Okay? So you should be able to see straight away. Oh, there's a bit of glue there. And that, just make sure that it's in the right place. Okay? Now with the next one, what you're going to do is do the same. Put some glue on your little tab. there. And line it up to the edge of the previous one. Make sure the bottom's in line as well. And just bring it over like so. So what happens is it lines itself up with the previous one. So how can I show you that so that it's not too dark? Because I realise that this cherry cobbler is making it tricky. So if I do it this way round, so I put some glue on there, on my tab, turn it over, line it up to the edge there, and just bring it round and press down. Okay, that gives that the next one, and there should be just enough room for your last bit. So I am going to put that on there, put that on there, line it up with the bottom, bring it over just to make sure it's all lined up and it looks perfect. Okay, press that for a little minute. Well, not even a minute really. Put it all back that way, and what you should be able to see is all 4 tabs in one go. Okay, so I'm going to do all 4 in one go. Yeah, I really am. Okay, so put some glue on that one, put some glue on that one, not too much glue so that it spreads to each one. You're just putting it on your tab. Put it on this one as well. Spread it around a little bit with the end of the glue. So you're using the end of the glue rather than pushing more glue out, just to spread it around, rather than your finger like me. Okay, when you're happy, hold this in line, bring this tab or this side over and just hold that down. Okay, and then just have a look. Okay, so press it back the other way while it's still wet enough for it to move, and that is your stand. How cool is that? Ta-da! Okay, and the back's finished as well, and it fits an envelope. So now you just need to go decorate it how you want. So what did I fussy cut? I fussy cut this Labrador. Is it a Labrador? I'm not dogs, I'm cats. There's this little cat in a box, there's a little parrot, a couple of stockings, and then also I've got a Merry Christmas that I've already pre-stamped, another little mouse in a box, and you just need to figure out where they're going to go. So I think this dog will go that side. You can put your dimensionals on, you don't have to worry about that. They're not going to be so thick that your card won't shut or won't fit in the envelope. Lost my scissors now. Okay, let's stick some of these in. Okay, so that I've just put some dimensionals on the back, just using up around the edge really of my dimensionals. I think us crafters are quite good at using everything. So that's going to go, I'm going to put in that side because then his head is there, and then when I put this one, his head's this side, so that sort of gives a balance to it. Because he's sticking up past my piece inside, I'm just going to put dimensionals on the bottom, just to, so he doesn't stick out too far. So I'm really just using the bit around the edge of the dimensionals. I'm just going to put him there, and I'm going to put another bit because I do want him to stick fairly well there. Just take those off, and he is going to go there. I'm being careful that I get him at a height that you can see his tail, but he's not sticking up too much over the box, if at all really. So that's the second one. in the cat, I'm going to go back to putting the cat on this side, and I'm not going to put dimensionals on this. I'm just going to put some glue, just like that. Okay. Then what else have I got? The little parrot. I've got a little mouse, and these. If I put this on the front, so again, if I put some dimensionals behind my sentiment, is that too fat? Just using up around the edge. That's going to go on my front piece, like so. And put it more towards this side because I'm going to put the little mouse at the end with a little bit of glue and a little dimensional as well. Maybe, let's have a look, see if it fits on. Just past the Christmas bit, like so. Okay, now these, I think these stocking guys, look, how cute are they? I'm just going to put those on there. It's suddenly gone dark outside, I think it's going to rain. That's going to go there, just to overlap that. I'm going to put another one here so that it looks cute. Oh, I've got something stuck on my finger now. Can't really see him, so I'm just going to move that one over a bit. Like that. Now this feels like it needs to be sticking up a bit. So I've got a little bit of the triangle that I've got from earlier. Let's cut a bit of that off. So I've just cut a little sliver off, and I put a bit of glue on there, a little bit of glue on there. Let's see if I can make him stand out a bit. So I've just put him like on a fence post really. Should put glue on the other side. There. And then he's sort of standing out in front of the dog. There you go. There is our make. So we've got one in Old Olive and one in Cherry Cobbler. Ta-da! And best of all, it folds down flat to post. I hope you've enjoyed watching me today. If you liked my videos, please subscribe. If you have a go at making it, just why not send me a picture? You can find me at createtheottaway@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. Bye.